How to manage expenses to increase savings. So the first important step is to categorize or group your expenses into variable expenses and fixed expenses. So basically, fixed expenses, those are expenses that cannot be adjusted. So expenses like rent, water, like bills, could be maybe water bills, or maybe electricity, or even transport. And then variable expenses, those are expenses that can be adjusted, and they include things like groceries or maybe food. They might include things like entertainment. They might include those expenses that basically you can manage, or you can adjust, or you can increase or reduce accordingly. So after you have grouped those expenses, you need to manage the variable expenses. So those things that can be adjusted can be managed. So for the case of food items, it could be something like, for you to reduce, it could be something like maybe you've been eating meat more often, and meat is expensive, is somewhat expensive. So you could set a time frame, or maybe we will be having meat maybe once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, or maybe even once a month, depending on your strategy and how much of a sacrifice you intend to make. So this is a bit personal. And then it could also be on the same thing. It could be like maybe entertainment. Maybe you've been going out a lot, you've been going to the bars, you've been going to the club, and maybe you're dining out. Those are certain things that you can definitely be able to manage, and so that you can increase on your savings. So the other important part under managing your savings, there is a system that is called the envelope budgeting system. So basically here what you do is you have different envelopes with different titles. If it's a groceries or food envelope, then you put, like, every end of the month when you receive your salary, you just take out some money out of your bank, and then each envelope keeps or contains money for each separate item. Maybe an envelope for entertainment, you put the money for entertainment. An envelope for food or groceries, you put money for food or groceries. An envelope for utilities, an envelope for miscellaneous, So that helps you to be disciplined on how you spend. It can help you to track your expenses. That is something that really works. But also remember to keep a record of all your expenses. You need to have a record for starters. And the other part is you have to be able to assess your performance periodically and regularly. Do not wait for 2 months to assess how much you have spent, because guess what? For you to save, it has to be different small steps, and they should be done regularly. And by the way, remember, it has to be intentional, not accidental. So for you to be able to keep in check with your set goals, savings goals, you have to be able to track, to regularly track and make necessary adjustments where they might be due.